Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Star Wars The Bad Batch. Last time on The Bad Batch, we had returned to Kamino, where the Batch, well, they returned to Kamino to go after Hunter, and we basically got Crosshair's glorious purpose, as it turns out, a long time ago, we're not sure how long, but doesn't really matter, a while back, Crosshair did remove his inhibitor chip, and even without his inhibitor chip, he is loyal to the Empire. He finds purpose with the Empire, and he wants to share that purpose with the rest of the Batch. But they do not wish to share in this, and also Rampart does not want them at all, as he completely destroys Kamino, and also the Batch barely... Well, they started to escape after fighting with Crosshair, but they did take Crosshair, and now they're all just desperately trying to get off the burning Kamino. So, yeah. But yeah, that's basically it. We are up to the finale of Star Wars The Bad Batch. Isn't that crazy? So that's 16 episodes, but 15 weeks we've been doing this. So, yeah, I have no idea really what to expect from this one. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much that. Let's go ahead and get started on this episode of The Bad Batch. Here we go. Kamino lost. Oh boy. I mean, how do they get out of this and get back to the ship? Oh no. Oh no.
All Kaminoan facilities have collapsed into the sea.
That was probably hard for him to say.
Very good.
That was his home.
Rendezvous with the fleet.
I do not wish to alarm you, but if you do not vacate this compartment, you will soon perish, and I will be left here on my own.
Tuh.
Crosshair!
Oh, it's her and Crosshair. That's gonna let in all the water.
Get this off of me!
Working on it. Well, if they can open that door and let the water out, they won't drown, at least. Oh. Did you get it? Oh, good job. Yay. Good work, kid. Oof. That's gonna be a lot of water coming in if they get that door open. Whoop. Ah, good job. Did she lose her bow, though?
What have you done? The Empire opened fire on the city. We weren't gonna leave you behind.
We don't have time for this. We need to get topside before this entire structure submerges.
If you want to stay here and die, that's your call.
Nuh. Yeah, the Empire did this, not us. The Empire left you to die.
Come on, Omega. We have to go.
Oh, there's not still clones in there, are there? Ah! Oh no, I don't want to lose AZ. This is the bottom of the ocean now.
Omega, watch out!
Nah.
Oh, you are okay.
I believe we have landed on the ocean floor. There is no way to accurately calculate the damage. Most of the facility must be
Oh gosh.
compromised.
So much for our air pocket. Can I get some place with a light? It's so dark in this episode.
Ironically, our old barracks is one of the few compartments habitable, albeit temporarily.
This is our room?
No.
All those missions together, and you threw it away.
We made a choice, and so did you.
No.
Soldiers follow orders.
Blind allegiance makes you a pawn.
Oh shit.
A real leader protects his squad.
Look where that's gotten you. They're all going to die here, because
Your failures.
Look! We landed on the underwater tunnel.
Oh, it's so convenient.
Use it to reach.
She's calling the shots now.
You have a better idea.
Bro, we're a team. We're all equals. I assume AZ too. Maybe not AZ. Oh, but look at him. He's being useful.
All that time, you didn't even try to come back. We still would have taken you.
Let it go, Wrecker. Crosshair has always been severe and unyielding. It is his nature. You cannot change that. He cannot change that.
Nah. Tech is like the least bothered about this.
I am not. Understanding you does not mean that I agree with you.
Nah. Yeah. What?
I think we got a problem.
Please don't be like a whale. Ah! Oh no! There be whales here! It's probably attracted to the lights. Or the sound. Oh god. Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to lose AZ. Whoop. Alright. Power, deter the creature. Yay! Oh. Electrical barrier.
It appears I have caused this structure's remaining power to short out. But you have survived the transit. This outcome is satisfactory.
Good job, AZ.
What is this place?
Nalase's private lab.
Oh yeah, Hunter
Omega
wasn't there.
says this is where our mutations were manipulated and enhanced. How would she know? Because she was there.
Nah.
Omega was created before us. Technically, she is older than we are.
Huh. But she doesn't have the rapid aging.
This is what happens when you let a kid call the shots.
Bruh.
That kid saved your life. Unlike the Empire, who left you for dead.
Well.
That's your problem, Hunter. You take things too personally.
They
They
destroyed.
literally left you for dead.
They did what needed to be done.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Kamino.
Don't fool yourself.
Don't even
All
fib
you'll ever be
yourselves.
to them is a number.
Nah. Yeah.
I spent most of my life in this lab. I was alone down here. Until you four were created. That's why I was determined to find you all again.
Being a clone doesn't make you one of them.
I wanted to believe it was the inhibitor chip that made you like this, but I was wrong.
You were always an asshole.
The buoyancy of these watertight chambers will bring us to the surface.
Medical capsules have not been tested for such capabilities.
We won't have directional control. How do we avoid the debris field out there?
The droid.
Won't that be dangerous?
Your safety and well-being is my primary mission objective.
That's true. Damn it, are we gonna lose AZ?
All right.
Tuh.
Seal them up.
Okay. So Omega gets her own. Omega and Wrecker get their own. Hunter and Crosshair are together. And then Tech and Echo are together. Oh boy. Alright, just keep them all there. Whoop. Oh man, we're putting a lot on AZ. Uh-oh. He doesn't have the power. Okay, they made it to the surface at least.
I got caught on some debris. It's okay, AZ's got me.
Oh. Oh no, we're gonna lose AZ.
Don't give up. We're nearly there.
Just hold on.
path is clear.
No!
I have completed my objective.
No!
No, why doesn't AZ float? They all float! Oh my gosh, I could start crying over AZ right now.
I'm going after AZ!
Oh my god, go! Ah! Jesus! Her theme.
I'm going in.
Oh, for goodness sake. Oh! Grappling hook!
I have a visual on the Marauder.
Yay.
I suggest we start paddling.
With what? Oh, thank God, daylight. I can see. Oh God, there's daylight on Kamino. I've never seen that in my life.
It's all gone.
We should leave before the Empire's scouts show up.
You coming with us?
None of this changes anything.
Hoss.
We want different things, Crosshair. That doesn't mean that we have to be enemies.
Thank you for saving AZ.
Consider us even.
Alright. Okay. So he's gonna stay with the Empire. Meanwhile, back here, I guess. Is this the same place where we found Gregor?
We are all admirers of your scientific talents. The Empire has big things planned for you.
Oh, is that it? Yep. Alrighty, that's the end of the first season of The Bad Batch, which I do believe they have confirmed. They have confirmed a second season, which is pretty cool. Yeah, honestly. See, I'm trying to think, like, how things have changed, but how they kind of haven't, honestly. The Bad Batch are still fugitives, and Crosshair still serves the Empire, but it is a bit different. Things are a bit different with what happened. So, so yeah, that was a really good finale, I have to say. So, hopping on into the notes, the first thing I wrote down is help Crosshair. Which I like that she didn't hesitate to help him, which was good. I like that. And both her and AZ helping Crosshair there. So that was really good. I like that. A good setting too. Like I was curious, how much of getting off of Kamino would be this episode. It was honestly the whole episode, but the way they did it, I thought was really good. Taking advantage of, being on top of an ocean. It was a really good setting for everything. So that was good. I like that. But yeah, just helping Crosshair with no hesitation. That was really, really good. And then they were on the ocean floor, which was interesting. And yeah, just the whole thing, like with the whale and everything. It was just a very interesting set piece, basically. Just going through a very dark episode, not in a sense of, oh, this episode's dark. Like lighting wise, it was very, very dark, which was interesting. So, but I mean, it obviously, yeah, you're at the bottom of the ocean floor. It's gonna be pretty friggin' dark. So yeah. Going into some of the notes about what they were talking about and stuff. It's interesting, we've heard a lot throughout this season, Crosshair saying, good soldiers follow orders. But I like Hunter finally basically hitting back and saying, blind obedience just makes you a pawn, And it's one of those things with Crosshair, and especially at the end where it's like, Crosshair at the end, Crosshair decides to go with the Empire anyway. You know, it doesn't really change things, Haas. It doesn't change anything, Haas, but still, I'm wondering if they may have planted a seed of doubt in his head. 'Cause yeah, they just left him to die, but to him, they did what they needed to do. He doesn't really fault them for destroying Kamino and leaving him there, you know? And I guess that's the thing, is that while yes, I mean, I guess it's going to be a little bit before... I'll be very curious to see what happens when he gets back to the Empire, you know? Because Rampart and even Tarkin were very adamant about ditching the clones, you know? So, are they still going to have use for Crosshair, or are they just going to let him go, or potentially imprison him, or even kill him, you know? Which, if that's the case, then that could be sort of the push, you know? But right now, with everything that happened here, it doesn't really shake him or his faith in the Empire, you know? He still is following, you know? They have their... He has his glorious purpose, really, you know? It's his glorious purpose that he wants to keep. I want to go back to... Christ, this is going to be slightly hard to find, I think. But what Tech was saying...
Let it go, Wrecker. Crosshair has always been severe and unyielding. It is his nature. You cannot change that. He cannot change that. Why are you defending me? I am not. Understanding you does not mean that I agree with you.
So that was interesting. I mean, throughout this season, we've really... that's something we've highlighted about Tech, is that he's very... I suppose unemotional, unsentimental, you know? Like when Omega talks about, like, oh, what was the Clone Wars like? And he describes this in a very... you know, textbook sort of way. It's like, well, it was a war between this faction and this faction, and there were many casualties and many battles. And then she's like, well, but what was it like? And he says, I just told you what it was like, you know? Or when Omega says, oh, did you know that flying is about a feeling? And he goes, what feeling? You know? And the way that she says, you know, Tech won't let me learn to fly until I can memorize all the specifications, you know? So that's the thing, is Tech, and it's very interesting because, you know, it never really causes a problem, but that's, honestly, that's Tech's nature, and you can't change that, and they don't try to change that. But he's unsentimental, he's just very technical about everything. So, when it comes to Crosshair, while everyone else, you know, is like, oh, we gave you a chance, you were our brother, and stuff like that, Tech is the only one who basically understands, like, no, it makes sense. That was in your nature. If this is what your nature leads you to, I understand that. He doesn't agree with it, you know. He doesn't agree with it, which is the interesting thing, that, you know, he would not go to this, you know, glorious purpose that Crosshair has, but, you know, he's still going on with everything. But just the way he views life is so technical that, honestly, you'd probably imagine that everything with Crosshair doesn't bother him, you know? Everything of, you know, Crosshair's betrayal or, you know, turning away or whatever you want to call it, it honestly does not bother Tech. He doesn't agree with it at all, but he understands it, and because that's just how his mind has processed it, you know? So I really did like that, the way he said that. It's like, yeah, I understand perfectly all the choices you've made. I don't agree with them, but I understand why you did what you did, you know, that it's your nature. We can't change that. You can't change that. In the same way that's Tech's nature of looking everything very technically, you know? So I did really like that. I did like, so they did confirm that Omega is actually older than they are, which is interesting. Now, you know, because she presumably doesn't have the rapid aging, I would imagine she's probably around 12, maybe between 10 and 12, because she's certainly younger than Ezra when Rebels started, I would say. And Ezra was about 14, so I'd put her at about 12 years old. And I guess we don't really know how old the Batch are, you know? But technically she's older, and she was there when Nala Se created the Bad Batch. So yeah, which is pretty interesting. So that's pretty interesting, you know, that she was there. She is technically older than them, which I like. So yeah. And I like how she says later, it's like, that's why she wanted to find Clone Force 99 again. Let me see if I can get back to that point.
With my life in this land, I was alone down here until you four were created.
It is something I also kind of have to remind myself, is like, oh, when you four were created, and it's like, oh yeah, Echo was not originally, he's joined the Bad Batch, but he was not like them. He was a reg.
That's why I was determined to find you all again.
Being a clone doesn't make you one of them.
I wanted to believe it was the inhibitor chip that made you like this, but I was wrong.
So yeah, so the reason she sought out the Bad Batch again at the beginning of the series was because they were the only other people she ever knew, even if they didn't really, you know, interact, but she saw them be created, you know? So, and she knew they were created to be different from normal clones, so that's why she felt this connection to them. So I like that. And then the whole thing of, you know, I thought it was the inhibitor chip that made you like this, but it's not. Crosshair's just a fucking asshole. But yeah. We had the capsules, which was very interesting, and AZ guiding them through the debris, which was very good. Good moment for AZ. I'm glad that we're not losing AZ. Now, yes, half of that is because it's Ben Diskin. I love Ben Diskin and his freaking voice. Ever since I listened to his glorious voice as Joseph Joestar, and then later found out like he's in a bunch of other stuff he's in. He plays number 1 on Kids Next Door, and so I just love his freaking voice. So I'm happy to have more of him in this show. Plus, I just like AZ. AZ is a really nice, a really cool droid character. So I'm glad we got to keep him. He did save Crosshair, did save AZ, and I like, you know, when Omega brings this up and Crosshair just says we're even. So I like that. That was good. But at the end, Crosshair is going to stay with the Empire. Nothing has really changed. He is now. I don't know. Maybe a seed of doubt has been planted in his mind. I don't know, but they did give him a chance to go with them. But he wants to stay with the Empire. He wants to keep his glorious purpose, and they don't want any part of that. But I like how Hunter says, "Look, we may not agree with each other, but that doesn't mean we have to be enemies." A lesson for the world, I would imagine. But yeah, we may want different things, but we don't have to be enemies. And he did let them go. So, granted, he was in no position to try to take them out. But yeah, I'll be interested to see how much of next season would really be Crosshair hunting them. I don't imagine that we would get that, but I don't know. But they've still gone their separate ways, which I'm kind of glad for. You know, you kind of, from the beginning of the series, you kind of think, okay, at some point they'll get Crosshair back and he'll be on the team again. But I like that we're ending the season with Crosshair still apart from the Bad Batch. Like, it's a very interesting like character arc that Crosshair is going on. So I honestly really like that decision to keep Crosshair away from them, because he does have this other path to follow, you know? So I'm down for that, at least. I'm down for that. But yeah, and then last thing we saw was Nala Se heading over to the Empire to work and offer her services, basically. What they could use her for, I'm not really sure. Maybe they'll finally bring back the Zillo Beast. You know, they said that they were going to do that. You know, well, I mean, not like in this or anything, but, you know, that was the thing in that episode was Palpatine being like, oh, yes, bring the Zillo Beast to Coruscant and we'll study it and try to clone it and stuff. So maybe they're finally doing that. Maybe they're finally going to clone the Zillo Beast. That'd be cool. The Bad Batch versus the Zillo Beast. That sounds fucking awesome. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see next season. I don't really know. I think next season's coming out sometime next year, but I'm not really sure. But when it does come out, we will be back with that. Probably, you know, the scheduling of me uploading these reactions has been very wonky throughout the whole season. Probably what I will do, because these come out on Friday, is I would basically wait until that next Saturday. So not the Saturday immediately after, but the next Saturday to post the reactions. I've been posting these on the next Friday, but I'd probably go with the Saturday. So, I don't know. Honestly, this is one of the first times I'm not used to doing live shows, you know? A lot of the shows that I do here on the channel are catch-up shows where I go through and I just watch and we just go and have a good time. But this time around where, you know, it's, you know, each episode is getting released week by week and then I have to catch up and do that and this and that and try to get it out. I try to get it out before the next episode comes out, but that just generally doesn't work. So, oh well. But we'll see next season. I will definitely react to next season. There's no doubt about that. Because I did really enjoy doing this. And yeah, I'm very curious to see where we're going next season. But yeah, that is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to those. There's a playlist for all my Bad Batch reactions. If you want to go rewatch the entire season, you can. There's also a playlist for my Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 reactions. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.